I bet you didn't know why the galaxy stopped laughing at Earth's wars. They mocked us, until a human veteran spoke, and everything changed. Miss the ending, and you'll miss why they never laughed again. In the Grand Tribunal of Xylos, the fate of worlds was decided in a chamber of obsidian and crystal. Today, Earth was on trial. Holographic screens displayed humanity's darkest moments: war, destruction, chaos. The alien judges, crystalline Cathar, gelatinous Polarians, insectoid Groll, watched with a mix of fascination and disgust. To them, we were a paradox, reaching for the stars while tearing ourselves apart. Our wars, our divisions, our violence seemed illogical, a flaw in our very design. Each image, a trench, a ruined city, a mushroom cloud, was another indictment. Humanity was seen as too volatile, too dangerous for the galactic community. In a small pod, a single human representative sat, an old man, silent, his face marked by years of hardship. He did not watch the screens, he had lived those moments. The assembly murmured, their judgment clear. He felt their condescension, their pity, their misunderstanding. Yet he remained silent, bearing the weight of his people's fate. The trial had begun. The Groll delegation's laughter was harsh, echoing through the chamber as they watched humans in medieval battle. To them, armored men fighting over dirt was absurd. The Polarians flashed with mocking colors, baffled by our endless conflicts. The Cathar sent a wave of telepathic scorn. They built tools for destruction but not bridges of understanding. Humanity was called a paradox, a cosmic joke. The evidence mounted, wars repeated, peace treaties broken, new flags over old battlefields. They do not learn, the aliens said. They glorify pain, forget the lessons. The judgment was clinical, not cruel, a species trapped in a loop. General Harris Thorne, the human, closed his eyes, feeling the sting of their laughter and scorn. They saw only the fire, not the one who ran into it to save another. They saw the sword, not the hand that rebuilt. They missed the quiet moments of humanity that bloomed in desolation. They judged the storm, never understanding the wind or rain. The verdict seemed inevitable. As the screen shifted to modern warfare, drones, chemical weapons, the laughter faded, the chamber grew cold, the evidence now terrifying. Humanity's intellect turned to destruction, was seen as a plague. The lead adjudicator, a being of energy and crystal, spoke directly to all. You have seen the evidence, a species defined by conflict. How can such a fractured, violent race join the galactic concord? The statement was a damning verdict. Silence followed, a case closed, a judgment rendered. Delegates from 100 worlds looked to the human pod, their fear and finality clear. Humanity's story to them was a tragedy of wasted potential. The debate was over, the evidence overwhelming. Into this silence, General Thorne acted. He rose slowly, every motion deliberate. A single aging man stood against the judgment of a galaxy. His presence drew the chamber's attention. He stood not in defiance but with quiet dignity. The silence shifted from condemnation to anticipation. All eyes were on him. You are not wrong, General Thorne began, his voice steady. Everything you have shown is true. We have fought, bled, and caused pain. But you see only our failures. You see the darkness, not the whole picture. He looked across the assembly, not with anger, but with patience. War is a sign of our division, yes. But in our darkest moments, our unity shines brightest. We fight for our differences, for the right to be individuals. You see warriors and weapons. I see a farmer protecting his home, a teacher shielding her students, a young man sacrificing himself for others. You see violence, but miss the love hidden within it. Our strength is not in our weapons, it's in our ability to stand together when all seems lost. We hope for a dawn we may not live to see. The mockery and pity in the chamber faded. The aliens listened truly for the first time. Let me show you what you have missed, Thorne said. The chamber was silent, but now with curiosity. The narrative was changing. The general's words cut through centuries of misunderstanding. He offered not excuses, but a new perspective. The trial was no longer just about judgment, it was about understanding. Let me tell you about the song, Thorne said, his voice distant. You saw the mud and the shells, but not the truce. Soldiers from both sides climbed out, shared cigarettes, showed family photos. For a few hours they were just men, not enemies. That is courage your recordings cannot measure. The courage to see your enemy as a mirror. We are capable of hatred, yes, but also of compassion that blooms in impossible places. There was a medic named Desmond. He carried no weapon, only a mission to save lives. Under fire, he rescued wounded from both sides, seeing only people who needed help. For every act of brutality, there are 1,000 quiet acts of sacrifice. For every city destroyed, millions work to rebuild, often with former foes. You see the explosion but miss the slow work of healing. You miss the soldier sharing rations with a hungry child, the pilot risking his life to avoid a school. You miss the essence of what it means to be human in the face of inhumanity. The chamber was silent. The images on the screens now incomplete. The general stories revealed a truth beyond violence. Humanity's contradictions were its greatest strength. The aliens began to see not just what we had done, but why. The trial's tone shifted from accusation to inquiry. The possibility of hope entered the room. The story of humanity was not yet finished. You criticize us for fighting over differences, but war teaches us those differences are meaningless. In a foxhole, the person next to you is your brother, no matter his skin or God. War, in its irony, unites us. I once shared water with a captured enemy. We couldn't speak, but we understood each other's fear and exhaustion. He was not my enemy, just a young man far from home like me. Our history is not a straight line to peace, it's a spiral. We fight, suffer, learn, and try to build a better world. Each time the circle widens, we learn a little more. Our conflicts have forced us to expand our definition of us. You see our violence as our defining trait, but it's our resilience. We fall and get back up, destroy and rebuild, hate and learn to forgive. The scars you see are not just marks of savagery, they are lessons, reminders of the price of hatred. They are the foundation of a peace we have earned through fire. The chamber listened, the old judgments crumbling. The general's words reframed humanity's story. The aliens saw not just a violent species, but one capable of growth. The possibility of acceptance flickered in the air. The trial was transforming. Look past the battles, Thorn urged. See what happens after the fighting stops. You showed our ruined cities, but not former enemies clearing rubble together. You didn't show children of soldiers playing in parks that were once battlefields. Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the creation of something new. We turned war's technology into tools for exploration. Our space station is a fragile outpost of hope. Every war ends, and in its ending there is always a beginning. We sign treaties, create laws, build organizations to prevent future wars. We fail, but we always try again. We are builders, even in destruction. The desire for peace is a primal need, born from knowing the cost of war. Judge us by the gardens we plant in scorched earth, by the bridges we build, by the hands of old enemies reaching out. This is our truth, our soul, not in the flash of a cannon, but in the work of rebuilding. It's the promise we make to our children, to spare them from what we have seen. The chamber was quiet, the message clear. The aliens saw humanity's hope, not just its scars. The future was uncertain, but the story was now complete. As Thorn finished, a new silence filled the chamber, one of thought, not condemnation. The screens of conflict now seemed incomplete. The aliens saw the farmer, the teacher, the frightened boy within the soldier. The Cathar's telepathy softened. The Polarian's colors turned to respect. The Grawl were still. Thorn was no longer a defendant but a storyteller. The lead adjudicator, silent, processed this new truth. One by one, the screens of Earth's violent past winked out. The chamber glowed softly, the act more powerful than words. The trial ended not with a verdict, but with understanding. The silence was now a sign of respect. General Thorn had not come to plead but to explain. He showed them a soul forged in fire, beautiful in imperfection. Our scars were not weakness, but a map of survival. Humanity's story was not good versus evil, but a journey of learning. We are capable of darkness, but also of breathtaking courage and compassion. This is the paradox of being human, our burden and our glory. The tribunal would deliberate, but for the first time, we were truly seen. They saw past our wars to our heart. We are poets, builders, dreamers, and yes, soldiers, each carrying hope for a world without war. Our greatest strength is not in waging war, but in our capacity to love. That is the soul of humanity, a soul worth fighting for, a soul worth reaching for the stars with. If you believe in the power of hope, and the strength of the human spirit. Subscribe to our channel and join us on this journey. Your support helps us share more stories that inspire and unite.